Hey, Tony Gaskins here. Now, I want to pop in and touch on this, and I'm sure this can apply to men as well. But just because of my audience here on YouTube and because of what I deal with on a daily basis with emails and customer service and DMs and all of these things, I want to speak to this right here. Now, before I get too far in here, make sure you click the link in the description in case you knew or you missed it. Click the link in the description to see your opportunity to invest in the channel, become a partner in the channel, and partake in the possible future revenue of my YouTube channel. All the information is on the page. It even shows you what the channel earned in the last 12 months. So click the link in the description and check that out. Looking forward to working with you. Now, here's something that really hit me because I remember reading an article about 15, it said 15 million women a year go through a depression that have that has nothing to do with anybody else. I'm gonna see if my Google search would bring it up. And it could have been this WebMD, but I'm not positive. And one of the things that I've been experiencing here a lot lately is a lot of just unprompted emails from women. And in these emails, it's a lot of signs of mental health issues and a lot of DMs that's expressing like mental health issues and a lot of women having visions, a lot of women having dreams, a lot of women reaching out with a message from the Lord for me, a message from the Lord for my wife, a message from the Lord for my kids, and a lot of a lot of scare tactics, a lot of don't eat this, don't go here, don't do this, don't do that, a lot of conspiracy theory. And all of those things are it's a mental health decline. When you start to live afraid and you start to be extremely worried. And one thing I notice is it's not even just single women that's sending these things, it's also married women that's sending these visions and these prophecies and all of these things. And then even in coaching, for the most part, I would say 80% of my clientele being on a path where they're moving forward and they're working on some things. And then you have about 20% that are really struggling. The other day I had to tell some clients that, hey, coaching is not for you. You need a mental health therapist. You need therapy. What you're dealing with and what you're talking about, that is a therapy issue. I'm a life coach. I can help you turn pain into purpose, like starting a company, writing a book. I can help you with some relationship knowledge, like understanding more about men and hearing the male perspective. But depression and anxiety and those type of things, that is for a therapist. They are trained for that. They went to school for that. And I'm noticing this a lot. So what I want to share with you today is just a reminder to be very mindful about what you're watching online and what you're listening to. And you have to I know that you maybe most likely live a boring life, and I'm gonna go there. That most likely you aren't fulfilled in your life if you're one of the people that I'm talking to, or you're struggling with this. Because if you work in a job and you don't necessarily love the job, then you're unfulfilled in your life. If you haven't started your nonprofit organization and you know that purpose is calling you, you haven't got your life coach certification, you haven't started your for-profit business, then you're unfulfilled in your life. And so when you're not doing what you know you're here to do and you're not doing what you know you're called to do, that leads to a feeling of disappointment and being unfulfilled. And then when you get online and Everybody and their mama and their sister and their niece is a prophet. And everybody is having visions from the Lord. And everybody is having dreams from the Lord. And everybody is thus saith the Lord. That makes you want to be thus saith the Lord too. And so now that when you eat within 4 hours of going to sleep and you go to bed and you have that very vivid dream because your food did not digest properly before sleep, it's always all of a sudden a vision from the Lord. And listen, the Lord is not going to visit you if he's not going to inhabit your life. The Lord is not just sitting and talking to you if he's not also getting ready and moving in your finances, moving in your body, moving in your health and your wellness, giving you the desires of your heart. So you can't listen to everybody who says thus saith the Lord, because the fruit and the evidence of God being in their life is going to be there. Meaning, if they desire a husband and that's God's will, they're going to have a husband. If they desire better finances and that's God's will, they're going to have better finances. If they desire to lose weight and have self control over what they eat and what they drink and when they go to bed, if that's God's will, which it is for your life to be healthy and to have life and life more abundantly and to have an exceedingly blessed life, then that's going to happen. So you have to really guard your eyes and guard your ears, and you got to curate your feed. And my wife talks to me about this all the time when she's on her social media. If it's something that she doesn't want on her feed, she swipes through it with like within a second or two. And she was like, because if I sit there for 5-10 seconds, it's going to tell the algorithm this is the content I want to see. So she was like, I'm swiping so fast because I only want certain things on my feed. And you have to understand that as well, and feed your mind. Make sure that the music you're listening to has a positive message. You should not be listening to 90s R&B if it's going to make you think about your soul tie. You should not be listening to certain music that's going to make you feel frisky or freaky or sad or depressed. I literally was listening to some music one time. I told the thing to put on this certain type of like what I was calling office. You know how when you go in an office and what what it had going. I'm trying not to say the name and all of that because it's act there is behind my computer listening. So if I say the name, it'll actually turn it on. And it was playing like it was like white artists, Caucasian artists, and one of the ladies was singing about like being in a relationship with a narcissist and singing about like how sad she is and how hurt she is and how he treats her and what he says to her. And it made me depressed. Like it made me angry for her. It made me like, man, made me feel like my relationship is not good. And so you have to think about that. And you have to be sure that you're curating your days. Never should a night pass when you're dealing with mental health issues or you're dealing with sadness or you're dealing with disappointment, you're dealing with unfulfillment. Never should a night pass that you don't pull out a planner. And now I'm going to create a planner for you here soon, that you don't pull out a planner and write your plan for tomorrow. And you're going to, I know you've heard me say this if you watch all the videos, but I'm saying it again because maybe you still haven't done it. Maybe you watching this video right now and you haven't walked for 30 minutes today and you had no plan on walking 30 minutes. Maybe you watching this video right now and you haven't read your Bible, a chapter from Proverbs. Maybe you watching this video right now and you eating your Oreos, you know, you eating your sugar. And we're living in a world today that it's not set up for vitality. It's not set up to help you live a better life. It's set up to take you out. It's set up to have you sick and have you on medication, to have you depressed, to have you anxiety ridden. And it all comes from the top down to the bottom. Like big pharma is winning. So even when you think about how we are getting on these medicines. And I know a lot of people, men included, white, black, all races, that's getting on these shots to lose weight. And the medicine is for diabetics, to my understanding, but people are using it to lose weight, to suppress their appetite. But why do we even get to that place? What got us to that place? What trauma got us to overeating? What trauma, what routine, what music, what videos, what relationships got us to the point to where we just packed on a lot of weight, to the point that we have to go get shots? Like, what were we drinking? What were we eating? What were we doing with our life to get to that point to where now we need this fix. We need this shortcut. We need this quick fix. And so we are so focused on the pound of cure instead of the ounce of prevention. And as you know, an ounce is lighter than a pound. A pound is 16 ounces. So just 1 ounce of cure could help you avoid 16 ounces. I mean, 1 ounce of prevention can help you avoid 16 ounces of cure. So think about that when you sit down and you're on here. And I've been disturbed. Like, because not only do I receive emails that are just all over the place, that just completely like from a place of fear, from a place of worry, from a place of scarcity. And it's all women. It's all women. Like the men who reach out, like I just coached a young man who is like 25, 24. He's making 15,000 a month. He has his own business. He used to work on like a dead end job. He started investing in coaching, invested in courses. Now he's making 15,000 a month. He has a couple different business ventures. He's doing Turo with some cars. He's doing, I believe, Airbnb it was, or something else. And young African American brother in Atlanta, single, working on himself. I followed him on Instagram. Got over 60,000 followers on Instagram, and he's paying for coaching, and getting help. I I'm looking and I'm like, well, the young ladies I'm coaching your age, nowhere near that. Depressed, stressed, and it's, you can't get caught up in saying, "Oh, well, it's everything I have to deal with as a woman," or "Oh, it's everything I have to deal with estrogen and hormones." All those things are valid, but you have to make sure that before you find an excuse, you execute on a plan. And when you execute on a plan and you say, okay, I'm in bed by 10 p.m., my phone is down by 9 p.m., I'm in bed by 10 p.m. Because I'm going to bed at 10 p.m., I finish eating by 7 p.m., I avoided sugar today, I worked out for 30 minutes, I read a chapter or more of my Bible, I journaled, I talked to the people I love, I meditated, spent time with my thoughts, spent time with myself, and I worked on something at least 30 minutes to an hour. I worked on something that I cannot be fired from. It rewind that, go back to it. If you can't go through and say you've done that, then you can't blame anything on anything. You can't, woe is me. Oh, it's the end. Whoa, I just can't. Oh, this, oh, that. You have to do what you have to do, because right now there is a spiritual attack on women. And the reason being is because the sights change, like meaning the sight, the focus of the adversary changes from who is susceptible. So what happened in society, what society tried to do is empower women. So the way that money works and the way that a system works is a group will be oppressed, and then that group will fight for liberation, and then the oppressor will allow the group who is oppressed to be liberated. And then when the group who was oppressed is seemingly liberated, then that group is empowered. So voting rights, rights over your body, education, jobs, income, raises, then you're empowered because now you're also being taxed. When you were oppressed and when you were powerless, you weren't being taxed. You didn't have a voice, you didn't have a vote. You didn't matter. You were being used. You were a worker in this, whether it's in the home or in the field or whatever it is. And then you go from oppression to overcoming. But when you overcome, because you were oppressed, now you don't know how to deal with overcoming. So now you become a victim of privilege, a victim of success, and you don't know how to handle it. So you become like a drugged up rat in a maze. So you give your freedom brings about temporary happiness. The happiness then becomes pleasure, and then your pleasure leads to pain because in seeking pleasure, you're eating more, you're spending more, you're absorbing more toxic content. You know, every reality show on television, you're in all of the celebrity gossip, you're gossiping, you're watching, you're comparing. Comparison is stealing your joy. You're mad because this person is married, this person is rich, this person has this job, this person has this car, this person has this skin, this person has this body. So you're comparing yourself to other people, and it's harboring resentment or jealousy or anger or frustration. And then to get rid of those feelings, you go get retail therapy. And if it's not retail therapy, like spending all your money and overspending, then it is overeating and you're indulging in food, because either way you get a chemical release from your brain. But that pleasure does not, in the words of Zig Ziglar, I learned this from Zig Ziglar on a podcast I was listening to. It was from one of his speeches. He said, pleasure does not lead to happiness. Pleasure leads to pain. And before you know it, your mental health is going down. You overworked, you feel overworked and underpaid, even though you're not really underpaid. It's just you're overspending and stuff is over costing. But if you're intentional about it, you will actually realize abundance, and you're investing in things and you're investing your time into junk, but you're not investing in yourself. So you're not making the effort of investing, and you're running from investing, but yet you're investing in food, you're investing in TV shows, you're investing in gossip, you're investing in drama, but you're not investing in you. You're not doing what you need. You're not investing in your mind, in your body, in your spirit. And that's where you have to shift the focus to, because right now the sights are set on you. The adversary wants the woman because the woman is a catalyst. The woman is strong. The woman is stability. The woman is who the children need. The woman is who the men need. The woman is who the world needs. The woman is who God can use. So if the adversary can get the woman, and it can get the woman because the men have been gotten, and so now the woman is frustrated, she's stressed, she's worried, she resents the man. The feminist movement is been toxified. So now it's, I don't need a man. I'm better than a man. I'm smarter than a man. I'm richer than a man. I could do this with a man, do this to a man. All this right here going on. And now it becomes war between men and women. And then what you see happen in society and what you see happen on the television is you're going to take and see, you will notice how the commercials and the marketing and all of this is empowering women And but see, the empowering is not genuine. So the black woman is being empowered a lot by the commercials right now, but it's not genuine. It's so that the number one leading degree getting demographic, which is black women, who is also the number one leading demographic of starting businesses. So now this demographic is being shown on every commercial, black women, every commercial. And then half of the commercials is showing a black woman with a white husband. So it's saying, hey, your men are trash, your men are in prison. That's why we want to show you in this media that you got to open up, you got to look outside. And because this is happening anyways, come on over here to the white side, because white men are becoming more and more incels, is what y'all call it. I don't even know what the word mean, but more and more in their room with their lotion and with their computer, and they're becoming unmarried. So hey, the black men are trash, they're in prison. The white women, they going for rich men, they want the rich white guys and they want the rich black guys. So the undeserved or the overlooked white guy, we want you to get with this overlooked black woman, and now y'all make beautiful babies. Because listen, all of the Olympians who are winning the golds are biracial. It's so many of them that are biracial. Look at a lot of NBA stars. A lot of these stars are biracial. Hey, look at Russell Wilson's hair. Hey, look at Patrick Mahomes. Look at Steph Curry. Look at Devin Booker. Look at the runner, the young lady who run all them races, win all them goals. Like, hey, we got something here. Come on over here. So now that's in the media. But the reason why the media does it, not because they care for you, not because they want you to broaden your horizons, is because they want more money. That company wants more money. You making this good money, and I can't tell you how many black women I coach who make six figures but don't have $600. And actually, one of our subscribers, who right now she overworked, and so she disappeared from the Blessed Tribe and all that. But one of our subscribers, I remember her telling me her story about making six figures and at the end of the year only having $10. Like December 31st, after making six figures, she had $10. You know why? Buying happiness, shopping, eating out, living, doing all of that right there. So I want you to think about this and really start to direct your days. Look at how you living, look at what you're doing, look at, really process. Am I living the right way? Am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing? Am I working on myself? Because I'm gonna tell you, my mental health was slipping bad. And you know why it was slipping bad? It was because of how I was eating and how I was sleeping. When I started fasting and I started cutting out sugar and limiting alcohol, because a lot of times you don't realize, like, yeah, that cocktail is cute, but that cocktail is dangerous. Yeah, that wine is cute. Yeah, it's sophisticated, but it's dangerous. And especially when it's after 7 p.m. That wind down glass of wine that we think make us grown and sexy is ruining our sleep. And that's why we struggle to lose weight. And a woman even more so. So the thing about it is, as a man, I'm always going to have some type of muscle mass and more muscular built. But as a woman, if you drinking red wine, white wine every night, even every other night, or you making you a cocktail, you destroying your sleep, you destroying your body's rhythm. It makes it harder to get up the next day and feel alert and feel awake. So now you binging on the coffee. So now you're killing the coffee, and then you feeling tired. So what? You eating snacks, you eating cookies, you eating cake, you eating chips, you eating all this stuff, and all of this stuff is processed. It's different if you got a bell pepper and you cut it open and you sit there and you eating raw bell pepper. You sitting there, you eating carrots or whatever it may be, but you eating cookies, you eating cake, and then you got to get a sugary juice. So now you want juice because you need that sugar rush. So you drinking the juice or the soda, and then or you go get a diet Coke or a diet Pepsi, and it's killing you because that aspartame, now they saying, is like the number one link to cancer, or it's either cancer or was it? Alzheimer's. No, no. The number one link, they was the women who drink Diet Cokes while they pregnant. They have found a study. They've studied the connection between children being born with autism and the aspartame being the chemical of in them diet drinks that women are binging. I remember this man and his wife on my son's soccer team when he was at another club. Every single game, it's 8 o'clock in the morning. Every single time, both of them will have a Diet Coke in their hand. And I'm like, you have to be sick to drink a Diet Coke at 7 o'clock in the morning, 8 o'clock in the morning. Why in the world do you need a Diet Coke or a Diet Pepsi? But this is our world, this our system. And no home is exempt. And you have to make a choice for yourself. Like the way I live and right now and the way I eat, my wife not on the same plan. She do her own thing. It's a lot of processed food in our house, but I'm not a dictator. I'm not going to force them to eat a certain way and to only eat whole foods. I'm not going to do that. I'm gonna lead by example. I'm gonna show them they're gonna eat. They eat whole foods and they eat good, but you got to do stuff in moderation. And I still eat processed food. I still eat bad, but I listen to my body. But I have an advantage because I already earn seven figures and I have an amazing spouse and I have amazing sons. If you live by yourself, that's a whole nother world. That's a different life. So you have to be even more intentional about your health because you got you. You don't have anybody that you getting in the bed with that's gonna pump you up and hold you accountable. So you can't cry about that and be upset about that and be hurt about that. You got to say, hey, I got me. I'm my best friend. I'm my best advocate. I'm my life coach before anybody else. I'm my therapist before anybody else. And you got to love you and you got to work on you because all it is a decision. That's it. It's just nobody forcing. Zig Ziglar said, and if y'all can't tell, that was my virtual mentor when I was changing my life, when I left the streets selling drugs, and my son was young in intensive care unit. And I would listen to Zig Ziglar 8 to 10 hours a day. He said he was like 260 pounds, and he wrote a book saying that he was like, or 230, and he wrote a book that he weighed 160. He said he had to lose that weight before that book came out. And he said, I realized I never ate anything by accident. He said, I realized I was overweight because of my choices, because of what I put in my mouth. He said, I never ate anything by accident. I said, man, that's deep. He said he started doing a quarter of a mile and then just kept going. Then he got to half a mile. Then he got to be a mile. Then he got to be a mile and a half and 2 miles, 3 miles, 4 miles, 5 miles. He said he got to a point to where he was outrunning people that was 20 years younger than him. And he lost all that weight, published his book, and then became a millionaire. Made a mental decision and then impacted my life. Pretty much the only person I quote, I'm quoting Zig Ziglar or I'm quoting Stephen R. Covey. That's pretty much the only two people I quote, but Zig Ziglar really, really, really was him. Stephen R. Covey, I just listened to that one book about the 7 habits of whatever highly effective people. But I want you to realize this and understand this, and we all struggle, but it's choices. You you can make a bad choice today, but you need to make a better choice tomorrow. You have to draw closer and listen. Stop trying to be deep. Stop trying to be deep. Stop trying to be special. Stop talking about a vision. Let the Lord give you a vision to get that weight off that you want to get off. Let the Lord give you a vision to build a savings. Let the Lord give you a vision to work on your look, to work on your heart, to work on you. Stop talking about a dream. Stop talking about a vision. Stop talking about a prophecy. Stop talking about all of this. Stop trying to be spiritually elite. Stop trying to be God's chosen and God's special and let people see God in your life. Let them see God on your face, on your hairstyle, on your body, on your car, on your house, on your job. Let them see the grace and the blessings and the favor of God on your life because you're making godly choices. Stop just talking about it and be about it. God ain't going to be just in one area of your life and not take over every area of your life. If you let him in one area, he going to bless every area. So you got to be honest about that. And you got to do that. And you got to stop being your own worst enemy. And this the men and women now. But I'm just addressing about speaking on and touching on the amount of messages I'm getting that I could see the mental health. And I'm like, wow, did this woman just send me this? Did this woman just say that? Like, look at how this email is written. Look at how this question is. Like, what is this? I be screenshotting and sending it to my daddy, screenshot and send it to my mama, screenshot and send it to my wife. And they be like, how in the world do you deal with this? What in the absolute world? Like, what is going on? Like, it is becoming scary. It's getting scary. Like average everyday women is walking around in a reprobate mind. Like, and I'm not talking about like a demonic, I don't know what reprobate mean, but like literally like gone. And we got to fix that. But I'm telling you what it is. They showed a study that what you eat, what's in your gut, what you are consuming is connected more to your mental health than anything else. And I can attest to that. When I stopped just eating junk, a bunch of sugar, eating real late, having alcohol, just all of that, I still have a drink, but it'll be one day a week. It'll be something to where I'm on a date with my wife, or it'll be in moderation, not having a drink. Cause I was thinking like, okay, man, we grown, we have a little glass of wine. That's how you wind down. Jesus turned water into wine. Long as you ain't no drunkard. Yeah, you ain't got to get drunk, but you grown. Like what they calling it, big bite. I'm a big bite. So with this here big bite, that glass of wine, that's not gonna Jesus turn water into wine. So and it say don't be no wine bibbler, don't be a drunkard. But that one glass, it ain't gonna get me drunk. I probably could have 2 glasses. It ain't gonna get me drunk. But guess what? My sleep destroyed. My sleep destroyed, waking up 3 o'clock in the morning every night to pee. Got to wake up 3 o'clock to pee. If you waking up 3 a.m., and I remember it was a motivational speaker that started a series at 3 a.m. And guess what? Got a beer gut. Got a dad bod. You're not waking up at 3 a.m. because you motivated and driven. You waking up at 3 a.m. because you unhealthy. When you healthy, you could sleep through the night. So if you always waking up at 3 a.m., that's a sign that you unhealthy. And you got to change what you eating, what you drinking, how late you eating and drinking. And you have to work on that. And as you work on that, you're going to start to see a change in your life. And your your clarity gonna go up. Your ideas gonna go up. So guess what? Your money gonna go up. And then your glow gonna go up. Your personality gonna be better. So guess what? You're gonna make more friends. You're gonna attract more people. If you're a single man or a woman, now you finna meet your husband or wife because you glowing, you radiating, you happy. Your head is up. It's on a swivel. You smiling because you eating right, you sleeping right, you working out, you journaling, you dreaming, you planning, and you're doing. And it's gonna change your life. Hey, this Tony guys, my son just came to the office, brought me my food from my wife. She cooked dinner for me today. I got to eat this and take him up to the field. They watching the soccer game, watching the college players play tonight as a team. God bless y'all. Oh, make sure check the description, the link in the description. This your opportunity to invest in the channel. When you go to the page, click on Q&A. You see all the questions. So all of the questions that you will have, somebody that already asked it, you'll see the answer. You will also see the amount of days left. You'll see the deadline, and you'll see the progress, where we at on getting to the minimum goal. And then you'll see the maximum. That's just like the max that I am willing to let go. But you don't have to get there. Just mainly trying to get to that minimum. So check that out. Read it. Read Form C. See everything. All investments are speculative. You always have a risk of loss. This is tied to my channel and my performance and my work ethic. Y'all already see how I work. Y'all already see how I get now. So I'm gonna be here. God bless you, and I'm looking forward to partnering with you. We'll talk soon.